Hello, my name is Amanda Stefanich, and I am here today to talk to you about poisonous plants. Plants that have either poisonous properties or build up toxicity properties that could injure our horse friends. These are found in pastures, roadside areas, fence lines, abandoned areas that you might be with your horse. But they're in areas where your horse could, would, or should be, paddocks, pastures, or track systems. The first one we have is rattlebox. Rattlebox gets its name because of the noise the seed pods make when they dry out. It is found in pastures, and it can also be found in hay. It has alkaloids that produce cytotoxic issues, causes damage to the livers, mainly to ruminants and horses, but mainly ruminants, which leads to kidney and lung issues. This can actually hide its presence for up to a month after it's been ingested. The next one we have is water hemlock, which is very similar to the original hemlock. It's just found in waterlands. So it can be found in pastures or tilled areas along the waterways, and it also is an alkaloid that affects the central nervous system. It's deadly, very deadly. Maybe one of the most deadly plants to our agricultural animals across the United States. Then we have the bracken fern, which is very popular. It's found in fields, woods, and roadsides. The problem with the bracken fern is actually not the plant itself. It causes a deficiency of thiamine, and then the lack of thiamine is what causes the issue. It can lead to death, but if you're in an area that have a lot of these, which I actually do, you can test for your levels of thiamine to see if you need to supplement. It also leads to beriberi disease. Perilla mint. This is found in pastures and roadsides. It's a shade-loving plant, so it's not going to be in the middle of the pasture. It's probably going to be on the edges or under trees. The signs of ingestion could appear anywhere from 2 to 10 days, so almost 2 weeks after eating, symptoms could show up. It's labored breathing, reluctance to move, and death. So it removes the oxygen from the horse. We also have pokeweed, and pokeweed can be found along roadsides, pastures, or abandoned areas. If you remove the plant, the signs will disappear. So as long as the animals are eating it, the symptoms are going to show up, but you can actually correct the symptoms by just easily removing it. So it'll be vomiting, abdominal pain, bloody diarrhea, or death if it's not removed. We have nightshade, and these are two different versions of nightshades. We have the two-leaf and the wetland, and they're going to be found in different areas. They are the same plant. They're going to be found in fields and pastures. They also have an alkali poisoning. It affects the GI tract. It could lead to paralysis and eventually death. Then we have the Johnson grass, which has a lot of mimickers. There's a lot of things that look like this, so you want to really look at the plant itself and the seed head and make sure that you're actually dealing with Johnson grass. It can be found in fields, abandoned areas, fence lines. It could go, it's from suffocation to death. It's a real nasty thing, and there'll be collapse, convulsions, and death. And it's quick. It's less than an hour, about 30 minutes to an hour. Then we have oleander, which you're not really going to see very much of inside pastures, but there's roadside, fence lines, edge of woods. Sunny and wet is where it likes to be. A lot of people use it for ornamental things, and it's very toxic to every animal. There have been cases where humans actually die from it for using it as like a s'more stick and dying. So it affects the GI tract with vomiting, diarrhea, lethargy, and then death. It's very deadly, very toxic. So you could drive yourself crazy with all of the toxic plants, and there's probably still going to be toxic plants in your paddock, your pasture, your track system. With managing these toxic plants, what you really need to do is make sure there's adequate forage for your horse to have so that he chooses that forage over the toxic forage, because mainly these toxins are going to taste bad, smell bad. They don't want them, but a starving animal will eat tree bark. So we need to keep that in mind, keep our horses happy and healthy with their preferred forages, and stay far away from these poison toxins. Thank you.